Good morning, it's Lynn with Midlife No Crisis. I promised you I would get some cleanup done so I could get ready for seed starting. It's week 3. We're ready to get going with seed starting, and I do my seed starting in my basement, which was a total disaster. I had shared with you some very embarrassing shots. I'm going to turn the camera around, let you see now how cleaned up it is. Okay, this is the corner of my basement where I do my seed starting. You see I've got some grow lights, and I've got some seed starting trays together, cleaned up as best I could. I even have some potatoes there on the bottom that I'm trying to start chitting. Bought some organic potatoes from the grocery store. Turn on around here, you know that's where I was overwintering my peppers, and they're still sitting over there. I've watered them about once a month, and then I have 2 more spots over here. There I am in the mirror. Let me keep turning. Where I actually set up my seed starting. I have one other little shelf over here that I have some room to put some things on. This would be a grown child's stuff that they need to come get. I'm sure you know how that is, but excited to get going with seed starting. Looking forward to working with you. Bye. As you can see here, I have gotten out all my seeds. I have just these 2 containers here that I just alphabetize my seeds throughout the year, and I do store them in an extra refrigerator I have downstairs in my basement. But I have laid some seed packets out on the counter here. Most of these are things that said these should already be growing from your fall into the winter and you should already be harvesting them. I'm not. So I thought, well, I'll start there. So let's see what I'm going to start with today. Looks like, let me grab my glasses. Looks like I have got what? Brussel Sprouts, Bok Choy, Collards, Kale, mustard, red leaf lettuces. They're supposed to be more hardy in the cooler weather here. Spinaches, beets, broccolis of sorts, cabbage, and turnips. So those are the things I'm going to try. Here is my seed mix. I mixed 4 parts peat moss, 2 parts perlite, and 2 parts vermiculite. And you'll see a little bit of other stuff in there where I had like extra dirt left over from last year in a couple of little seedling pots I was cleaning out, and I was not about to waste that. I've already started here, but I'll demo in a moment how I do my seed packs, and I use a 72 cell tray. So I've got 12 6-packs there, and that works out for the number of things that I was looking to do. And then I will move it over. You can see where I have removed it from the shelf right here. I'll move it back when I get that ready. So let's go. Okay, I picked out just a little 6-pack out of my tray here. And I'm going to just grab a handful of my seed starting mix, and I just kind of cram it across the top. Take a couple of fingers and press down lightly to the inside. If I see any leaves or sticks or anything, I can take those out. I told you if I had leftover soil in old 6-packs when I was cleaning up and restarting for this year, I just dumped them in here and tried to crumble them back up with my hand. But that is it. That is how I prepare the 6-pack there. And I try to get the whole 72-pack tray set up like that before I start with my seeds. I'm kind of procedural, so smooth it across, take my fingers, put it in, push it in, do a little bit more. So I want it to stay in there. By the way, this soil is pre-moistened, so it's a bit crumbly, but no water comes out of it, so it kind of stays together, but no water actually drips out of it. So that's the consistency that works well for the little seeds to be able to work through everything. And works out pretty good. Tend to get a pretty good germination rate, and I'll be sharing that with you as we go. But that's about what I do. Let's talk about Brussels sprouts for a moment. This is a pretty good example. I happen to have 2 seed packets for Brussels sprouts. One just bought from a big box store. But what I like about these seeds is that they have this red coating on them. I can actually see the little seeds when I try to sow them and see how many I've got. Got another one from My Gardener, whom I love. Nice $2 seeds all the time. Have great sale at the end of the year. But no coating on the seeds. It's fine until you realize eyes are as bad as mine. They are teeny tiny. I can at least see them apart, and not quite as bad as some seeds that I get, but they are very small. So my goal was just to have one 6-pack of Brussels sprouts, and I happen to have some old labels here, so I just wrote over them again. These 2 were Brussels Sprouts Long Island, which was the My Gardener one, and Brussels Sprouts Long Island Improved, which was the big box one from Fairy Morse. I think I picked them up in the dollar store somewhere. But in any event, what's improved? Is improved the fact that it has the coating on it, or is it the different variety that's actually been improved? I'm not sure. But I could say that when I started to sow them, I don't know if you can see it, the red ones in this column, I could actually see them. So when I dumped them in the dirt and the directions said, I think 1/4 inch, I could see that I wanted them spaced apart. See, these 2 little ones are right beside each other. I'd rather not do that, just in case. My goal is to get 6 plants out of it, but I'm putting 2 in each cell in case something's not quite right about it. But the ones that were brown, good luck with that. I sprinkled as best I could over these 3 little things, 2, possibly 3, because I really couldn't see them going in that well. And what I will finish it off with, by the way, my dibbler that I use is a little cheap chopstick from the local Chinese place. I also use this sometimes. It's a teeny tiny little crochet hook. Reminds me of something my great-grandmothers and them used to use when they were using thread to actually crochet doilies, etc. But those days are long gone, and my eyes are horrible for that. My last step will be, after I get the whole tray sowed, I'll put a little vermiculite over the top of all of them and spritz it down with some more water. But for right now, that's all there is to sowing Brussels sprouts, or pretty much anything else. I do try to read the seed packet. You see, I've got my magnifying glass here to help me out. But on the back of the seed packet gives you some very useful information, like you know, where they'll be going. Sow 1/4 inch deep, plant them out in the full sun when you're ready. These are cold tolerant, prune leaves to promote buds, and this is good for spring and fall. So on the other written part, the My Gardener directions say if you want to start indoors, which I'm doing 2 to 3 weeks before last frost. I'm way in front of that because I'm in South Carolina. And cold hardy means that I should be able to get these out in the real garden pretty early. This says if you were going to direct sow 3 to 4 weeks prior to your last frost for fall, if you're doing it that way. Days to germinate 5 to 10 days. Germination temperature only 60 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So I may or may not decide to turn on my mat. This is my cold tray. Typically I'll turn on my heat mat just until everything germinates. Then I'll take the dome off and probably not keep it heated. But we'll see what our weather's like by then. Because I'm seed starting in the basement, I want to keep up with that outside temperature pretty good. Days till maturity, 75 to 115. That's pretty lengthy. Plant spacing, 15 to 18 inches. Plant size, 24 inches tall. On that plant spacing, I've heard lots of people say that to really caution that, because that's considered the distance for like big commercial farmers that need to get in there with equipment and stuff. So we'll probably be spacing ours a little closer. But anyway, wanted to share that with you. Okay, now let's talk broccoli. So I had a little variety of broccoli seeds already in my stash. These are from the Dollar Tree, just broccoli caprese or caprese, however you say that. I had 2 from Pine Tree Garden Seeds, broccoli Decio or DCCO, I don't know, broccoli green magic, I can read that. In my gardener, I had broccoli Rob spring rampini, And then I had this seed pack from our local library. We have all kind of free seeds that we can go into the library and get all the time. This particular one says broccoli for microgreens, so I'm not going to sow it in my seed tray. I'll try it in a different kind of little tray. I'll have to read up a little bit. I've never done microgreens before, and I wanted just to do 1 6-pack. So I went with 2 each of the broccoli DCO, 2 each of the broccoli Green Magic, and 2 each of the broccoli Spring Rapini. So those seeds looked exactly like the Brussel sprout seeds. Here, I'll show you. They were teeny tiny. Here, ooh, I lucky got one on my hand. Can you see it? Oh shoot, can't see it because it rolled off somewhere. Let me pay attention next time. Let's get a few of those. Okay, so there's a handful of them. Some of them are rolling, some of them are rolling around, but you can see how little they are. I was pretty able to count those out, and I'm thankful, actually, that I have a white countertop here because it was easier, much easier to see them when they did roll out of my hand. So, in any event, that's 1 6-pack of broccoli down, whatever else to go. Okay, now it's Kale's turn. I happen to have 6 seed packs of kale. So I've got this Kale Dazzling Blue, Kale Lacinato, dinosaur kale, Dwarf Blue Curled Beets from the Dollar Tree, my Gardener Premier Kale, Pine Tree Red Boar Kale, and in my Gardener Red Russian Kale. Boy, this has been a staple even from my very first attempt. That red Russian kale grows in anything, with neglect, whatever. But I happen to have 6 packages, so I just did a 6-pack on my seedling tray and did just 2 seeds of each variety to get that going and see what's going to work and what's not going to work. So I'm trying to do a better job this year keeping up with the varieties after they're planted, labeling them well, so I can decide what tastes the best, what grows for me, etc. Okay, now let's talk about mustards. I happen to have 6 seed pack for mustard, so I made a 6-cell pack with just 1 cell of each, 2 seeds. This is just a big box store, Ferry Morris pickup. Mustard India, Florida broadleaf is what that first one is. A couple of things here from In My Gardener. Mustard Mizuna. Mustard Mizuna Red Streaks, and Mustard Red Giant. Okay, we'll try those. A couple from Berlin Seeds, which I love. They tend to have lots and lots of seeds in theirs. Okay, so this one is Mustard Southern Giant Curled. Mustard Southern Giant Curled, and Mustard Tot Soy. I didn't even know Tot Soy was a mustard. The very, very first year that I tried to garden, I had tot soy that grew even all through the summer. I was so impressed with the tot soy. So I'm anxious about that, even though to get started here, like I said, I'm just doing 1 6-pack with, 2 seeds in each cell, 1 cell for each seed package. Again, we're just a single family, so we're going to get started, see what grows well, and then we'll succession plant if the weather allows it, if it's doing well. We're still experimenting. All right, let's talk collards. I happen to have 3 seed packs with collards. Burpee, just from Big Box Store, Georgia collards. Some from the free seed library at the free seed library at our local library that just said hybrid flash collards. And then in my Gardener Beets collards. So I took the 6-pack and basically have 2 cells for each variety and have them labeled. We'll go from there. Okay, let's talk lettuce. I happen to have 6 varieties of lettuce on hand. So I have the Marvel of 4 Seasons from In My Gardener, Cimarron from In My Gardener, Ruby Red Leaf Lettuce from In My Gardener, New Red Fire from Botanical Interest, Red Sales Leaf Lettuce from In My Gardener, and Rouge d'Ivre. These were recommended by different people on various YouTubes that I've watched. And the red leaf lettuces, or the red lettuces in general, are said to be better in the winter or coolest months. So that's what I'm focused on. So I did take a 6-pack and just put a sprinkle of seeds in each one. I'd say 3 to 5. These seeds were not like the brassicas. They were more, not like little balls at all. Let me spread that out a little, see if you can see. More like little seeds. Not round balls like the brassicas, but a little harder to count out into the cells. So I just did a light sprinkling in each one, and we'll see how those germination rates go and look forward to figuring out what are the best tasting. Spinach time. I had 3 varieties of spinach. Bloomsdale, Botanical Interest. Hybrid smooth leaf spinach from my local seed library. And Dollar Tree spinach, Giant Noble. Okay, so since I had 3 varieties, I just took a little 6-pack and used 2 cells each variety to fill up a 6-pack of spinach. So we'll see how that goes. Let's talk about Bok Choy. I only had 1 seed packet for Bok Choy from Botanical Interest variety Choco, C-H-O-C-K-O. And since I just had the 1 variety, I believe in the directions it said it also is frost tolerant, but it should be good through the summer as well. I decided to do an entire 6-pack, and I put just a couple of seeds in each cell. My cabbages, I had 4 varieties of cabbage seeds. So I had Napa cabbage from Emma Gardner. I had Early Golden Acre from the Dollar Tree. I had Red Express cabbage from Park Seed. And I had Red Acre cabbage from Botanical Interest. So I decided, again, I just want 1 6-pack of each kind of vegetable to see how it's going to do to get started. And I did 2 of the Napa cabbage, 2 of the Early Golden Acre, 1 each of the Red Express and the Red Acre. And I put a couple of seeds in each cell. So hoping for germination, and then we'll go from there and see how we like cabbage and bok choy. All right, let's talk beets. I happen to have 6 different seed packs. So I did my little 6-pack. I put my glasses on. One of them is the Detroit dark red beet, seeds from the Dollar Tree. One is Forma Nova OG specialty beets. These came from the my local public library where they have free seeds. M.I. Gardner sugar beet. M.I. Gardner Bull's Blood, Burpee's Golden, and M.I. Gardner Golden Detroit. I did hear that the golden variety beets are less casein, less of that dirt taste. So we'll see if we can get them to go and then grow a little more than that, so we would have enough to really get a good taste of them. But we'll evaluate and see what we like for the garden. Okay, it's turnip time. Looks like I've got 3 varieties of turnip seeds. Turnip White Lady from Botanical Interest. Turnip Purple Top White Globe from Dollar Tree. And then from our local library, which has a free seed library, Organic Purple Top Turnips. So since there were 3 packs, I just did 2 cells each to make 1 little 6-pack for turnips as a starting point. I know that's not enough to have like a meal, but we'll plant some more and get going. The point is to get going. Okay, let's talk dill. Looks like I had 4 varieties of dill seeds. Long Island Mammoth Dill from the Dollar Tree. Bouquet Dill from Southern Seeds. See what the seeds look like there, like that. Dwarf Fernleaf Dill, also from Southern Seeds. Get what those dill seeds look like. And then I had one free pack of seeds, again, from my local library where gardeners can go and donate seeds that they've harvested. And it says Hera dill. So I chose to make my last little 6-pack here of dill variations. And you can see, now I've got my 72 cells filled with, I'd say 2 to 5 seeds in each cell, depending on how big the seeds were. The smaller they were, they'd be likely to get 3 to 5, a little sprinkle, depending on their shape, etc. Whether or not I could see what I was doing, that was a big part of it as well. And then, you know, I had pre-moistened the soil that I put into each 6-pack. And now I'm just going to moisten the tops. None of these were planted very deeply, very shallowly planted. And then I'm going to put vermiculite over the top and put the dome on, humidity dome. So I'm going to wet this down. Grab some vermiculite to put on the top, wet it down again, and then put the humidity dome on. We'll lightly sprinkle some vermiculite over the top. Last year I did perlite on top and wasn't sure I liked it. It seemed to get a little crusty. So I wrote a note to myself that this year I was going to try vermiculite on the top and see if I liked that better. I didn't have any trouble with germination last year. Even though I guess I thought it was crusty, the little seedlings didn't have any trouble breaking through. But I just felt like vermiculite might be a little better. We'll see. Almost got them covered. Okie dokie. Spread some again. Trying to hold that moisture in. Part of the germination process. Alrighty, put the dome on, and I'll take them over and put them under the lights. There we have it, our first 72 cell tray of the season. I'm excited. And there we have it, the first cell tray of the season, 72 cell tray. And this is my little setup. It's got a heating mat on the bottom, you can see there. The dome, the lights on the top. The lights are just from Home Depot with the right ratings, etc. for growing. And I will put that on a timer probably for 16 hours a day on the light. The heat mat will stay on until they're all germinated. It's been a few hours, so I thought I would just give you a little close look here at the condensation. I did turn the heat mat on. However, if I feel it to the touch, like you can barely tell it's even warm. But that just gives me an indication that I do have some good moisture in there. I do not want to let those seeds dry out until everything is germinated. Okay, so I'll keep a close eye on it. My plans are, again, light for about 16 hours a day and leave the heat mat plugged in just until everything's germinated, and then we'll go from there. Thank you for joining me today. I just wanted to say thank you so much for bearing with my new learning. Not very good with the camera. I'm still trying to remember to always put it in this horizontal position. I noticed one little section toward the beginning there, I had it vertical. Sorry about that. I'll get better as it goes. I also don't have good editing skills, so you're pretty much getting raw footage from me. I watched the videos that I'd done thus far and realized from looking at my notes I didn't say anything significantly wrong, but I did have quite a few more seeds for things that will do well in the colder weather. Again, I'm in South Carolina, so cold's not really cold here. But we get into cold and then a very short little period of time where the weather is spring-like, and then right into summer. So if I want to enjoy some of those typically colder weather veggies and stuff, flowers, then I need to start those now so that maybe they'll make it through those swings. That's part of what I'm learning. And when we get to transplant time, I'll be transplanting it out in different spaces around my yard, north, south, east, and west, so I can tell what's going to do best where with sun and shade, etc. So again, thank you for dealing with me. I got out another tray. I'm too tired to do it today, but I will plan another 72 cell tray for these other cold weather type seeds that I have, and then I'll move in quickly to peppers, for example, the hot weather stuff, but that needs a great big early start. So talk to you soon. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Bye-bye.